In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that we shall not perish, but have everlasting life. For our sake he made him to be sin, who knew no sin, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. For we are his handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's stream. We're back, and we're going to be placing more dirt today and probably digging more dirt and doing all that fun stuff, because I still got to terraform and get everything looking nice and snazzy before I could start building. Though what I might do is on Monday at 7, Memorial Day. I don't think I'm doing anything at night, just during the afternoon. But what I could do is I could actually start working on the basement of my house and actually get like a proper, layout of places and get like the room sizes down and all of that kind of stuff. Because it's about time I get myself a basement and get everything proper there, especially for a map room, because I don't have one yet. Or maybe I actually will make a separate building for the maps. I don't know. Maybe, actually, I think I like that better. But I do want a cartography room in the basement. But for today, placing dirt is all I got planned. It just continue the terraforming, making everything look nice. Because getting it all done now means that in the future I can just build instead of having to do any of this groundwork. But I actually really enjoy terraforming in that. It's a very satisfying process, and it's like yard work. Like, you immediately start to see progression take place. You can see the terrain moving and changing and looking better, and all that kind of stuff. So it's very nice, whereas sometimes with like building a building, it's very bare bones to begin with, and sometimes it's questionable whether it's going to look good in the end because you have the skeleton there and you're still trying to imagine it, whereas with terraforming, you just place dirt, at least for this basic style of terraforming. It's simple. But before we get into any of that, let me go ahead and pray, and we'll get the stream started. So if you will, please bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for letting me stream. Just pray that everything goes well and smoothly, and that I'll be able to glorify you with this. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get this party started. I think I actually need to scooch my setup over a little bit. There we go. I gotta figure out, because my setup moves. Oh yeah, I kept all the dirt in my inventory. I was nice to myself. But what I'm thinking is, like, with one of these buildings here, whoop, fat fingering, I could have one of these buildings as a map room. The only issue is a map room kind of is much larger, so I might want something a little bit better for the map room. This is going to be something I should fix today. We're going to continue working on this area. I think I'm going to bring this over, fix that up. I need to finish this terraforming, get that all situated, start filling in this area, getting that all situated, and fixing that. And actually, probably just straight up filling in this area here to some degree and keeping it a little bit lower. All of these things need to be done. I don't know why I tried to pick block the coarse dirt, not chorus. Okay. Had to readjust it again. Oh boy. I should put markings in the piece of wood I'm using. Technically, it is literally just a big piece of wood. But I originally I have 4 of these, same exact kind. They're navy blue in color. And it was originally my shelf back home, and we took it with us because, you never know if you're going to reuse it. I mean, I'm putting it to good use now. And so I need to to get that all situated. But, like, marking it down so I know exactly where each piece of the puzzle is supposed to be. You know what I mean? That way, every time I set it up, it's roughly in the same exact position each time. And give or take a little bit of variation, but soon I'll get used to it. Whereas right now, I'm just kind of setting it up with the flow, which I guess technically I could always try to put it back, but yeah. So I literally have it sprawled across 2 tables, so that way I can sit more comfortably in my chair. Alright. Okay, yeah, that fixes a lot. This here is a little bit broken. I think I need to tear this back to fix it. This is too... Yeah, we're not getting... Luckily, the center of the iron farm, the part that we can't uncover, is much farther back. So, I shouldn't have to worry too much about it. Yeah, but that's going to do that a lot better. And I think just some elongation of this. Kind of getting this a little better off. Which, to be fair, this might actually just completely get redone. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this I'm going to bring over to here anyway. So let's go ahead and get that started. Ooh. I will say, it is kind of a weird shape. But we can get something working. It's probably going to be adjusted and swapped around anyways when we get things a little bit more worked around. Yeah. Because right now I'm shaping it to the land that it looks now, but I'm probably going to fill this in here. I need to fix that. Fill in a little bit more over there. Probably actually shave this bit down here. Repurpose this. I might actually leave these bends in here. I kind of like that. Fill that in. I don't know. I don't really want a giant flat area because that just I don't think will look super great. But I'll have to see. Because I want to make sure that this all looks good to some degree. Like this area here is going to be really flat. And I don't mind like 1 or 2 areas being flatter than the other areas, but for the most part, having terrain changes is good. If you're building a city, having it be mostly flat is decent with a little height variation to add something. I think all of these are full. Sweet. All these flowers here are kind of annoying because I can't really do much with them. Okay, well, we just dirt placing. Alright, chickens, as long as you don't get in my way, you'll survive. Get in my way, and I cannot guarantee your safety. Fictional animals are harmed in the process of this video. Just figured I'd give you an FYI. It would be funny. Somebody legitimately got mad at, like, content creators who play video games and stuff, and, you know, they're killing animals in it, and they're, like, an animal rights activist. They're like, you shouldn't be killing animals in video games because it's promoting animal cruelty. in younger children, and when they grow up, they're going to want to just kill the animals and torture them, and they're going to want to be farmers, and it's like, what? And so, like, one thing I like to joke around about is when, just in the concept of sometimes how crazy it is, because farmers, in reality, don't harm the animals at all, and it's, yeah, not all farms are good farms, but the 99% of them handle the animals with the utmost care, including, like, when they're going to get the cows to collect the beef, they're not torturing it to kill it, they're killing it as quickly as possible, which typically only takes one shot or whatever. I don't actually know what they do. They probably don't shoot it, because the lead might contaminate the meat and all that kind of stuff. But they do something that'll kill it pretty much instantaneously, so they don't have to worry about it actually being harmed in the process as much. So, you have that, but obviously people don't understand that, you know, a lot of times hunters and farmers have the utmost care and respect for animals, which is why, like, a hunter does not want to make the deer suffer. They want to shoot it. They want to make sure they either get the headshot or get it right through the heart, kill it as quickly as possible so it suffers the least amount of time. You know what I mean? It's not about, like, it's illegal to hunt for fun. And all of that. That's why, like, you have to follow the strict regulations and all that. But sometimes I like to joke when I see, like, you know, I think I may have seen these at restaurants where it's like the animals were handled in a specific way, and I'm like, but I like my meat being pre-tortured and everything before I eat it, just because of satire, the stupidity of the claims and accusations that are baseless and have no facts to them and are purely emotional. Not a good way to argue in the slightest. If you want to get your point across, doing it with emotion is not always the best thing. And even, I'd say, if you're very passionate about something, including getting emotional about a subject, and you definitely want that, and, like, you're putting emotion into it, it actually might be better to go calm and collected when presenting the topic, to present yourself in a more elegant manner, because that, your passion will show in that, you know? Whereas crying and kind of screaming, I mean, even if you are, like, just passionate in the way of, like, it brings you to tears kind of thing, and, you know, not saying that, I think there's a time and a place to use emotions in a conversation or an argument, but all the time, probably not. Now, I really haven't been in many arguments, and a lot of times when I am, I don't really bother, because I know the person who I'm arguing against, they don't want to lose the argument, and I don't care enough to win the argument, and it's pointless, because even if I win the argument, did I really win the argument, or not? Because most likely, the other person's going to go away from this, believing they won the argument, even though they made no headway whatsoever. So you just, you know, there's a meme where it's like, you know, how are you so good at dealing with arguments? And it's like, well, every time somebody starts arguing with me and it's something stupid, I always just say, yeah, you're right. I'm like, but that's totally, like, that's a stupid way to go about an argument. Like, they'll never understand, they'll never learn. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And it's just like, yep. It's sometimes, I mean, you look at Proverbs, where it says, you know, don't correct a fool according to his own folly, lest you will become the fool. So it's like, don't correct a fool. But then it's also correct a fool so that he does not continue in his folly and something like that. So you have like two verses in Proverbs that are both wisdom. One states do correct the fool and one states not to. And like, you don't want to correct somebody who's not willing to listen and to be corrected, or even for the, like, sometimes it's not even like a correction kind of thing, but it's just like, I wanted to bring this to your attention, or even, this is my opinion. Like, those kinds of arguments are the ones where it's like, if they're trying to argue to win the argument, then it's probably better to not bother. And there was one guy on my hall that I didn't really bother to argue with him, because like, he's doing a biblical major, and you know, I don't really like biblical majors because they kind of all follow the same trope of They have a lot of the knowledge, they do a lot of the studying, and they pride themselves on that. And I'm like, I think you should pride yourself a little bit on that. Or not pride, but be proud of that. And definitely having knowledge is a good thing. However, when you start kind of using that and it's like you try to have a civil conversation and your conversations are almost always, yeah, no, that's stupid. Yeah, I don't believe, yeah, no, that's just completely, and they're not really arguing as much as they're saying, your idea is dumb and my idea is better, and let me tell you why you should believe in my idea. And then every time you're like, well, here's a claim on my side. It's like, I don't care about your claims. Just listen to what I have to say because I'm right. Is the argumentative style, which I do not like. And so I try to avoid that because it's not a good way to argue, because then no one's really going to want to talk to you. Because, they're not willing to admit that they were incorrect and they were inaccurate. And that's the difference between true wisdom and I read Proverbs, so now I'm wise kind of thing. Because you look at somebody who's experienced and who's studied the Bible, and they'll most likely be like, yeah, sure, whatever, bro. You believe what you believe. You'll most likely eventually probably switch that belief 5 times before you actually come to a conclusion on which one you truly believe. Because after the 5 times, you've done 30 years of studying into the topic, and now you actually have the true knowledge. Whereas right now, you've studied it a lot. I'm not going to deny. Like, I respect these biblical scholars. Let me make that clear, okay? I truly respect them as people, and with the knowledge that they have, absolute respect. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying they're stupid or anything, or that they haven't studied enough. No. They've done 10 times the amount of studying I've ever done in my entire lifetime in the single semester that we were on that hall together. Like, they've done it. They've done the work. But, and I'm not saying I'm smarter than them or anything, because I'm not. Because I've only done a certain amount of studying, because I do the amount of studying that works for me. I'm not one who can really sit down for that long and study the Bible. I love the Bible, but, reading it in the morning is good for me. I get the knowledge I need to. If I need to study a specific area, when I'm in college this next semester, I'm going to be studying through Acts, as well as my devotions in the morning, where I'm going to do those 2 at the same time, because I have to kind of do a Bible study on Acts, so it's kind of expected that I probably should be diving deeper into the Word there, which that's more, but like my personal time, I wouldn't really do that, because I'd find myself getting bored and not wanting to read the Bible, which is something I don't want to get to. So I like a more regimented Bible study following kind of reading. Anyways, I don't know why I got to that. I forgot, what was I originally saying? Anyways, yeah, so like they argue, they're arguing, and their tone is very much in a way that's like, I'm right, you're wrong, and I don't care what you have to say. Even if somebody is wrong, it's not a bad idea to listen to their side of the story, to just hear what they have to say. Because if you just shut them down, they ain't never going to want to talk to you again. And how are you ever supposed to correct them if you're not even willing to listen to them in the first place and understand their position? Because, like, you think about it, most likely if they ever got into a conversation with an atheist, it wouldn't go super well, because they'd be too busy trying to advocate for their side, and not once would they listen to the atheist side, because obviously they're wrong, But if you don't listen to the atheist side, then the next time you see this person and you want to start conversation with them, they're probably going to be like, I don't really want to talk about this, because I know exactly where it's going to go. I know exactly how you're going to talk, and you're really just going to attack me and my beliefs, and I don't want that. I don't want that to be the argument. I want to actually have a discussion about it. I actually truly want to debate, which kind of goes into the definition of the argument. Like, an argument's not necessarily meant to be won or lost. A debate's not necessarily meant to be won or lost, but it's meant to gain an understanding of each other's sides. if you go into an argument and you leave the argument not understanding the opposing person's side and why they were arguing it in the first place, then did you really have an argument, or did you just rattle all the knowledge you had in your brain off to kind of get your point across? It's kind of different, you know, like, it just doesn't work that way. So it's kind of difficult, because obviously, you know, you're at a school that's, you know, not necessarily a Bible college, but very biblical in what it does and the majors that they're. But it's just like, sometimes people can be really, really kind of like biblical snobs. And that's a little bit of a problem for me. And it's a really hard place for me, because I don't exactly know how to address something like this. Because I sometimes, like, I listen to some of the ways they talk and the ways they present stuff, and it's like, it almost reminds me of the Pharisees, where it's like, they were incredibly smart. And I think the Pharisees do get a bad rap, and I'm like, they're not the good guys by any means, but at the same time, like, you look at it, and you're like, okay, well, what's their position? I mean, they've had false teachers, they've had people coming in claiming to be the Messiah. They've had plenty of people doing that, and it's like, okay, yeah, you're not it. And, like, you think about it, it's like, okay, with Jesus, you know, why wouldn't they just be like, oh, you're not it? Well, because Jesus went a step further, and he claimed to be God himself. Because he's like, I'm forgiving sins, and like, yeah, we've seen people perform miracles and all of that all the time, and they've claimed to be the Messiah, but, you know, they're not really there. And then you get this other dude, some random dude from Nazareth, he is a Nazarene, from Nazareth, claiming to be God Almighty. Just outwardly claiming that. And it's like, as a Pharisee who upholds the law, you're kind of sat there like, I'm sorry, what? You are God because you can heal people, and you're claiming to be God and now forgiving people of their sins. Yeah, that's not how that works. So, like, that's kind of their position, because I wonder how many times they've seen healings occur from people, and we've actually seen miracles being performed by people who don't believe in God. Like, you'll think of Moses, and when he was a prophet, he performed miracles. I'm gonna have to clear my inventory. He performed miracles, and so did the prophets of I think they're actually considered magicians. So did the magicians. The magicians also were able to do the signs and wonders that Moses was doing with the power of God. They were doing it with more demonic power. So, like, it's not impossible for people to do miracles and all this crazy stuff. And now you got somebody who's actually claiming to be God himself, because they can do stuff that essentially other people have been able to do using definitely not powers from God. So you can, like, you understand from their position, they're kind of in a weird pickle here, because they're like, you know, and I mean, there's no true way to validate it other than his own words. So, like, it's actually very interesting to see how it all unfolds. And then, of course, you know, we know how the story ends and how it goes, and we know that Jesus was God. But, like, you think about it in their time, and then you wonder, and, like, there's always the question of, like, if Jesus were to appear today, like he did back then, same kind of thing, would we believe in him? Having all the Bible that we have now, if Jesus came here today and came and was like, yep, I'm Jesus, would we believe him? Or would we say, no, you're probably lying? And then they perform miracles, and we say, well, that's, you know, people get healed all the time and stuff. We've seen healings happen. We've seen miracles happen in our time. We've heard of crazy stories of miracles happening. We don't believe you. And it's like, but what if? But of course, if you believe and it's not true, now it's a bigger pickle. So, like, you think about it, it's like, would you trust? Would you actually believe? And, like, some people would be like, oh yeah, for sure. But, like, There's a reason they didn't believe the first time. Because it really was an unbelievable story. You know, it didn't really make sense. Alright. Off topic. I think I do gotta fill this in. Alright. So, like, you think about it. And the Pharisees were not stupid or anything like that, or crazy or anything. And you know, they were doing everything right according to the law. Like, they were following the law, and they knew the law by heart. So it's not like they were doing anything crazy or really, like, combating him. But they're like claiming to be God was very bad. According to the law. Like, no one should be doing this. This should never be allowed to happen. And now somebody was doing it. And it's like, oh well, what do we do now? It's actually happening. We've had people claim to be the Messiah. And most likely people have claimed to be God who are probably drunk or something. I don't know. People being people and being crazy and stupid. I don't know. Like, they've most likely seen it before. So they're like, yeah. Right. So, very, very interesting to dive into the behind the scenes of the Pharisees. Because, I mean, you had Paul, who was a Pharisee above Pharisee, you know? He was the Pharisee kind of thing. Like, he knew the law, he knew all of that, persecuting the Christians, you know, and then Jesus himself reveals himself to Paul, and it's like, hey, yo, bud. And he's like, oh, so the Pharisees were wrong. I was wrong. With all of this knowledge, I was wrong. It's crazy thinking about, like, exactly what goes into it all. And, like, imagining what it would look like today. Alright, well, it's very exciting, though. Random thing, that doesn't have to relate to anything I just mentioned before. Almost done with this. The terraforming is actually slowly but surely coming closer and closer to an end. Which is very exciting. Because then we can actually start building some things. I'm not gonna lie, I might actually, if I have the time, I might actually start working start working on that basement that I was talking about, because I do kind of want to swap it up a little bit from terraforming, but at the same time I want to get this stuff done, so because once it's done, I don't really got to worry about the heavy scale, probably minor detailing and all that. I think one thing I will do to break it up is take down the building and the bamboo that's over there, mainly because I need to terraform over there, and it's kind of in my way. But I could do that. Stab it with the eggs. And let me shove all of these in there. Dang, son. There we go. Dang, it's already been 30 minutes. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, I have quite... Okay. I was very confused why I couldn't hear my garret being eaten, but I have a resource pack that muffles things like that, because it is very loud and very obtrusive. Okay, something weird happened last night, right? After my stream, and I rated that dude, and I said he was really quiet. I don't know if he was, because I later realized that my whole computer was quiet, and I could barely hear anything. And I bumped it up to like 100% volume, and it was at about this volume, so it felt like it was about 50. And I have no idea what happened, and that's what's making me think maybe that guy wasn't actually as quiet as I thought. I couldn't even really hear him at all. So, like, I had no idea if he was even talking to me, because I could not hear squat. So that was interesting. It's back to normal now, but that was weird having it be so quiet. So I guess if it's really quiet, I should try raising it up first to see if it's just my computer being weird. I don't know if my computer speakers are going out or what's going on. So that was a weird one. Because I still don't really like wearing headphones at all. Earbuds or headphones, they hurt my ears after about an hour. So I'm not a huge fan of it. So I'd much rather play without them. But of course, the only issue is if I'm not talking, you might hear an echo of the game. Because, of course, it's there. But, here, let me be silent for a little bit and see if you can hear the dirt being placed. Okay, so yeah, that's nice. Luckily, ironically, actually, I don't know if it's ironic at all, but the fact that I'm now sitting farther back from the computer, I think that benefits the microphone a lot, because it doesn't actually have to cancel out any noise. It just generally can't pick it up because it's too far away. But I do have a lot, like, I have to be up and close to my microphone and talking at a pretty decent volume in order for it to pick up stuff. And that was intentional because, and that's actually helped a lot in quieting down when people are being more rowdy in the room and stuff. You can barely hear it, especially if they're at the door or outside of the room. You can't hear anybody talking or anything like that because the microphone is canceling it out. But I mean, if my roommates are wrestling or something like that, then it'll probably pick that up, especially when they bang into my table. If you watch through my Decked Out series, there are times there was one episode I was recording and they were having a full-on like wrestling match, and I'm like doing this thing, and I'm like hearts racing as I'm playing Decked Out and everything, and then you hear like thud in the background, and I'm just like, yep, they crashed into my table. Nah, it's great. So my old roommate will be across the hall from me, and my new roommate is ironically from the exact same place as him, but the other side of the island. So that's kind of cool. And both of them have knee problems. So I go from one roommate with the knee problems to another roommate with knee problems, which is just, I think, funny. I can't escape the knee problems. And then I also know the third roommate, but I did not choose him. And I might actually be playing Bed Wars with him in the future. Just to clarify, I'm not sad about not being able to choose him. He's actually a pretty cool dude, and I think I'll be able to live. The good news, he goes to sleep early, so we're chilling there. The bad news is he's a little bit messy. He just has a lot of stuff. Now, it's also possible that freshman year, I brought, like, more stuff than I needed to have, and now that I live here, it's a lot easier to just like leave stuff behind, especially if I'm like the room is more cluttered and I have stuff I don't need here. I'm probably gonna just leave it, and I could always bring it home. So that's kind of nice that I have that as an option. All right, well, time to fill this in again. I'll worry about that a little bit later. I think I want to get this generally done. This is where the melon is gonna go, melon farm, or melon patch, more accurately. The farms are gonna be in the silos. Here, you want the seeds? You can get the seeds. They're over there. So it's gonna be a good time. So because I'm on hall leadership, I got to choose my roommates, which ironically, the one of the guys I'm in a room with, he is not, or he is a part of the leadership as well. So bringing him in, he kind of had to be there. So it would have probably worked out anyways. The other one, there's a thing you could do where you can reserve your room so you can stay in it again. And so he reserved the room, and originally he was planning on going off campus. So I theoretically could have been able to choose another roommate or get somebody else. But he then decided to stay, which I'm not mad about at all, because I think it'll actually be really fun to have him there, because he's more into the video game scene than most of the other guys I've met on the hall. Though he is more PvP-based games, so more of like first-person shooters, which I really don't like. They frustrate me far too much to actually be any form of enjoyable. And me being frustrated is not a good thing, because I don't like being mad or anything like that. And I really don't like angry streamers, because they're not enjoyable to watch. And they have really toxic communities, and that's not the community I want to build here. I'd like to build a community of, you know, family-friendly people, respectable people, you know what I mean? And also be able to spread the word. So that's the community I'm looking for, not like an XQZ community where it's just screaming at the chat and then get insulted. Like, that just sounds horrible. Though, friendly insults are always welcome, because that's always fun. Though it takes time to know somebody, to know how to do a friendly insult, to know which ones are acceptable, which ones are not, and all that kind of stuff. That just takes time chilling and being around, so. There's a soothing ASMR kind of feeling with all this dirt placing and dirt breaking and all that kind of stuff. This is actually like kind of a vibe to just place dirt. I know it kind of feels like I'm wasting the dirt since I'm not like covering it up, but I don't mind doing this because one, it allows for basement stuff if I can. The other thing is, because it's a farm, it's actually nicer to not have it floating. I know over there it's a little bit floaty, and I can fix the parts that need to be fixed. But for the most part, it's not. And it's nice doing that, because when you do tilled land, you don't have to worry about whether or not, you know, if you're at a corner, if it's going to be, if you'll be able to see through to that area, then you have to go into that area to put a block there to cover it up so you can't see through. So that's always something. But filling it in, now you don't got to worry about that. So the melon patch will be probably a lot nicer than the pumpkin patch, because the pumpkin patch is going to have big pumpkins and that, which I need to figure out exactly how I'm going to do the big pumpkin and melons, because I'm not sure how to build a big giant pumpkin. I think what I'm going to do is go to Scar's base in Season 6, because he had a big pumpkin patch, and that's what I'm going to use for inspiration. And I'm going to see how big he made them and what they exactly looked like, and try to replicate it in some way and imitate it. Just as an FYI, imitation is not necessarily stealing, and if I do end up using a tutorial to design, I will always make sure that it's known who that belongs to. I will not try to steal anything from anything, and that's not my goal at all. If it was, I probably would have started there instead of doing this. Trying to recreate somebody else's build style is probably a lot more difficult than just stealing it in the first place. So, but because Scar knows what he's doing when it comes to building, and I'm still learning a lot of it, and especially more natural builds are a lot more difficult. Though natural building, if you want organics, Pearl is the one to go to. Her organic structures are just chef's kiss, you know what I mean? They're really good. She's really good at the terrain, but mainly plant life on a much larger scale. Scar, I feel like, is much better at just terraforming and getting really beautiful looking terrain and like bringing life to builds and naturality to them in a way. B-dubs is just, I don't even know the words to describe B-dubs. Interiors are extremely good, but also color theory and design is amazing. Gem is really good at fantasy kind of stuff. Though Gem is kind of like Whip, where it's like, it's good building just generally, but there isn't, I don't think, a very specified building or even a building style that she's really good at. But overall, she's just like a really good builder. Green is really good at like large scale detailed builds, where it's like, it's, you know, massive, you know, almost to world height kind of builds. But he's able to put a lot of detail into it. But like, you go up close and it's much more bland compared to like a B-dubs build, which is extremely detailed down to like every block is meticulously placed to match color and flow a lot better. I'm trying to think who else is, or Corrales. Corrales is really good at modern kind of build styles. I've never really seen anyone build that well in modern, because modern is such a hard style to make look good because it's always so bland and flat. But Corrales finds a way to really work with it and make it look really good. It's amazing, like, seeing some of the stuff he does. I might actually nab his, I think he built a, what are they called? Carrier? Not an aircraft carrier, but, just like a general big boat carries, containers. Container ship? I forgot what they're called. But I'm really bad at boats, so I might nab that for my personal world. Alright. Okay. I lied. Maybe I do want to match these together. Bring this together to be one lump. Either that, or I connect this and actually fill this area in here to make this less of a lump. That does mean that the pumpkin patch will be pretty high up there. Alright. Let's go behind me. Kind of fix up some of this. I don't think I want to build another layer, because it doesn't really match that way. I think now we gotta do more of the fine detailing, fine tuning, and fixing of areas. Kind of get that all more situated. Because, yeah, I think one thing I might want to do is actually shave this back and chop it off more. Buff this out. I think I want to pull this to about there, but not move this at all. And then I think probably pull this over here and then fix that. So here, let me start work on that. Let me see where I need to. All right. Whoop. Sorry about that. fill it in now. We're gonna fix this little section back here, and then I'll figure about the top a little bit after this. Try to figure out exactly what I want to do with that. I think with building, it's a good idea to find a style that you're decently good at and to stick with that style and improve on it as much as possible to become an expert in it. So like anytime you build in that style, it'll be amazing. And then improve your building of other things slowly by expanding outwards and then eventually becoming to the level of B-dubs where you, at that point, you're such a good builder, you can almost do it all. I've never really seen B-dubs struggle on a build. Actually, you know what? I've never really seen B-dubs build modern. I don't think he's as good as modern. He's more rustic, old cottage style. Not full-on medieval either. It's like a 1900s, 1800s kind of look. That's, I feel like, where B-dubs thrives, is in that style and time period. But like you go modern into the 2000s, there you get Corrales. You go farther back, I feel like he could do medieval too. I mean, I don't, well, no, he's built castles and stuff before. He totally could do medieval. Yeah, no, it's just modern that I've never really seen him build. And like even with the cyberpunk city, he's doing the dystopian part, which is very worn down and destroyed. And it looks good, but like clean. I don't know if B-dubs can build cleanly because he does so much with color theory that it's like being worn down and shaded and all that is much more of the asset. Whereas he typically builds in a very worn down style. Like everything's always lived in to start rather than building something that is nearly brand new. Or at least kept very well where it's not aging and rubbling. You know, there are people who can actually fix that. I think he always builds in a style where fixing cracks in the wall isn't an option and isn't existent. You know, that's not a possibility. Because I don't really know how many times I've seen him builds not worn down. Which is kind of interesting. Alright, this is our last shulker box of dirt. Alright, one thing I will say, I am going to yeah, that's definitely going to be better. As I said, we're going to actually shave this down. And probably I'm going to fix this a little bit and then shave this down, fill that in. And then I honestly think I'm going to, like, bring this out to there, flatten that a little bit, and pull it out a little bit more. Because I don't really like this crescent that's there. I like it over here, but I don't like it here. I think I want to pull it out a little bit more. I think it'll look better. Whew. Grind is real, man. I can't wait to have this place be like built kind of thing. I'm very excited to see like starting to expand much further from our area and actually have like a proper starter home. Like I'm excited for this project to be done and to be done with the starter area and to move on with the Japanese styled harbor town to get that done and dusted. And, you know, be able to come back to this area for storage and resources. You know what I mean? I think that'll be really fun. I don't actually know what I'm going to do with the harbor town, though. Because, like, in here I have a lot of mini farms and stuff, like, that are based around being in the area. I think probably after the harbor town will become the main storage base area. That would probably be good to build, which I don't really even know what style I want to do for that. As I said, I'd really like to do a recall system for a storage system where I could go in and say, I want these items and I want this many and I want it in, you know, I want a shulker box of it and do stuff like that. Okay. Well, that's very nice. That kind of just covered up that area. Though, I gotta figure out the heck's going on over here, because I'm very confused how to fix this. Where I should go to fix it. I'll worry about that a little bit later, because I kind of want to fix down here.
Gotta fill this in.
Getting that all situated. Gotta get a Coke soon. I think I'm gonna clear myself out of dirt, and then, once I need to get dirt again, I'm gonna get a Coke after that. I have one more shovel to use to collect dirt. Oh, I don't exactly want to do that. I want to start getting stuff down here. I don't want the river to pour in. The other thing is like the riverbed, I need to make look good as well. Okay, squid, you just... Stop. Alright, well. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of asked for it. Just gonna fix this up a little bit. Coolio Beanio. Okay. I think I want to get rid of this layer. I don't like that. Let's see how's this looking. Yeah, it looks a lot better. The frick do I want to do? How do I want to fix this? Small portions at a time, I guess. I might be getting rid of the look I wanted because this part is funky and merging it is larger than expected, which is okay. Remember, the terrain itself is okay to be blobby and not perfectly looking because this is meant to be built over, so it's more of shape that I'm looking for than it is actual, like, design and detail. Because if I was truly making a terrain, I'd probably mix in a lot more blocks and do a lot more different things, which even then, you'd still do a base like that and then put things like rocks in there to add that extra level of detail in 3D to it, rather than a more 2D, almost drawn plane to truly bring 3D aspect out. You know what's funny is I've always considered, like, Scar to be the best builder. But honestly, I think B-Dubs is. I'm not gonna lie. Scar is really good, don't get me wrong. But, I don't know, sometimes I look at a Scar build and I'm like, you know what? It doesn't actually look that good compared to my expectation. Like, his train looks amazing, the smoke, even the mountain tower that he made is pretty cool looking. But then there's some other things he's done where it's like, okay, I mean, I feel like there's something missing with it. But then you watch B-Dubs build, and it's just like, everything is there, and even stuff you didn't expect is there as well. It's insane. Yeah, I think I gotta start removing now. I gotta dig this away. Gotta shave this down. Gotta get it all situated, you know what I'm saying? Alright, nope, not the flowers. Not the flowers. I will be shaving this down as well, though. I know. We're gonna put these in. I don't know how much of a shave I'm gonna do there. One thing I do gotta do, I think, is fix this area. Oh, that was quick. Like half of those that I just placed down had turned grass. Alright, I gotta put this in. Get out of there. Yeah, that's probably gonna do it, except for that block. And probably bring this like that. That'll probably do it. It's probably good there. We'll figure it out as we go along. Luckily, this process gives us dirt, so we can keep going. This isn't a server in NASA. This is just single player. Just terraforming a little bit, making the area easier to build on. So we gotta get rid of that. No, that strategy of just waltzing in, demanding an IP probably won't work most of the time. Hate to break it to you. Okay. I like this. I like this. And then I'm going to shave down here as well to make this a little bit better and get rid of that more extreme horseshoe curve. I don't know what it is. I don't really like horseshoe curves a lot in terrain. I don't think they look super natural, so that's why I like to smooth it out a little bit better. And they're not super easy to build in either, because then you get weird dips in the terrain and in the land. That I find it just easier to get rid of them. This is the fine-tuning I was talking about. Where it's a lot of back and forth. Trying to get that exact curve down. fill in a place like this. Pull that out, pull that out. Okay. Slowly but surely. Geez, having all of these blocks just floating here is starting to annoy me. My Minecraft pet peeve is, blocks just floating on the ground. I don't like seeing them there. Don't really need an ink sac right now, and I can always get more. Don't need iron ore by any means. I got plenty of iron because I got an iron farm. It's full clock. Almost time for a cook. Let me clear my inventory of some of the excess stuff, so that way all I have is dirt. That way it's a lot easier to build and maneuver stuff around. Okay. Put that in there, throw all this in there. No, I want to keep the grass, actually. Kind of want to get rid of the grass first. Make it a little easier to work with here, you know. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Okay. I'm gonna put some of this away because I do gotta shave some stuff down. I gotta shave the grass down over here. The amount you can press the spacebar down. It's whack. Okay. So I'm actually going to try to get oh, let me this is going to be a very back and forth process. Once we're done here, I'm going to grab the coat. I will eventually get there. Right now, I'm in a groove. I'm not super thirsty, so not dying for it yet. Another reason I kind of like doing this is it's nice to get rid of the stone because it's easier to work with if it's all dirt because you can just dig it. You can dig it all out. Rather than stone, which then you have to swap over immediately, whereas right now, I feel like it's a little bit more convenient to just get rid of it here than later. Gravel I could leave, but I don't like the way it looks in comparison to that, so it's just nicer to get rid of. And also, if it's all dirt, then if you don't end up removing it, you don't have to worry about it later and it being more of a tedious task than convenience. Just the way I kind of work. This is probably going to look better, shaping it in. Yeah. Which means we'll have a much bigger riverbed. I'm actually going to go from back here. Look at all this dirt I can now reuse. I don't know, maybe it'd be worth sometime pulling the riverbed in a little. And that way this isn't as big of a gap in between. But I also could use this space to put custom trees to match along with the riverbed. Not sure. We'll see when we get there. I'm not going to worry about riverbed. So you just spawned in front of me. Bleh. Can't you see I'm working here? True bruh moment when pillagers spawn. Oh, that'd actually be a funny line in a movie. Is for somebody to be in a fight and boast that they've never died before. Just to warn you, I haven't died in a fight before. Which it's a no-brainer, because obviously you're there. Alright, he should... You did... Cool beans. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like that. Alright. I am gonna fill these in. So I feel like they should be. It's kind of a weird area. Just the way this is all formulated. You know, a fun thing I thought would be to do is to build a themed area, but not in its proper theme area. Like, build an Egyptian, kind of city, but build it in a plains biome. And then build a Nordic Viking town in the middle of the desert. And, you know, do things like that where it's, like, very clearly not the style, but adapt it to the terrain. You know, but have the theme there. I think that would be very interesting to try. Because I think it would be very hard to pull off in a way that actually look good. Because you're putting themes in biomes they don't belong. Like, Nordic Viking should be in a snowy area, and Egyptian should be in the desert. But then what if you just decided, yeah, let's swap that around a bit. Just make things interesting, you know? Probably the best way to get rid of this. I don't know, I'll just fill it in and figure it out as I go. I could also make more shovels for when I need to dig more dirt so I can dig more at once. But I find the placing of the dirt more interesting than the mining of the dirt. Great, now I keep thinking cows are pillagers. Looks like I am gonna run out of dirt, though. At least for this. I have more dirt left over. You know, having Garrett's as your main food source is both good and bad. It's bad because all the horses try to follow you. Slightly annoying to have horses constantly follow you. I was not trying to ride you, I'm trying to place dirt. Okay, I'm gonna need more dirt to finish this bit off. But how does that look? Could use some work in the front. Once again, you will die if you keep trying to follow me. Probably want to fill that in. Keep fat fingering, pressing E instead of W. Sorry. Slight adjustments here and there. Dare come for me. I'm gonna punch you. Eventually you're going to die, horse, because you're going to keep getting punched. Does not sound like the best way to go. And I mean, if you wanna, I ain't gonna complain. I already have Felipe. And of course I have wings now, so... Don't actually need Felipe anymore. He's kind of like an accessory. There, freaking do it. You only got so many horses, man. Or so many hearts, man. Okay. Awfully satisfying. What I might do is take this, stretch it on, you know, here to make a curve like that from this point over. Not a full horseshoe, but, you know, I don't mind a small curve that goes around it. I just don't want the horseshoe curve where it's like, you know, the shape of a horseshoe. Where it's a circle, but then it dips in and then out. Like, I don't think that looks very good. But, like, from here, trying to get that done and dusted, though, make it actually look good in some way. Welcome in, Safer stem. I am currently doing a little bit of terraforming to make room for a melon and pumpkin patch kind of zone. Yes. Precisely. So I'm getting this all terraformed around. Get out of here. I'm getting this terraformed so that way I can eventually build in this area. Because right now it was much more hectic and a lot deeper in the earth, and it was a horseshoe curve, and it was not good. Stop running in the hole. That's where I'm trying to get you to go away. I'm trying to build here, Mr. Pig. How are you doing today? Safer. Jeez. Okay. I will say, the YouTube side, the names I feel like are smaller than Twitch side. That could just be me. So I'm on the last leg of dirt here, but after I get this all built and placed in, I'm going to go grab myself a Coke and open that guy up, and then we'll probably be live for another hour or two, maybe. We'll see. I don't have anything else planned for tonight, so I could just keep going and just eat a later dinner. But I don't want to force myself to. I guess we're doing a 4-layer, but that's okay. I'm doing pretty good at it. Thanks for asking. What have you been up to today? Chilling on a Sunday. Can't tell if my arm is starting to fall asleep. I think it might be. So it might be good to actually get up and start moving a little. Otherwise, my arm might fall asleep. Which would not be very good. Okay, it feels like it's starting to wake up. Okay. Nothing, just chilling. Well, that sounds like a good party to me. Nothing beats a good day of chillaxing. Yeah, so in this area, up there, I'm going to have a pumpkin patch. Right underneath this layer is an iron farm down there. And I'm going to put a pumpkin patch on top of that. And I'm going to have a melon patch kind of in this area that I'm building. And pretty big ones, too. Because I'm only going to have one pumpkin, one melon. So I'm going to make it extra large. Because I have 4 wheat farms over there. However, one of them is destroyed because another portal spawned inside of it. And has eroded the lands to be basalt. Which you can kind of see back there. Burnt down the buildings with it. Bit unfortunate, but, you know, nothing we can't live from. Alright, we'll take a look at this, and I think that pretty much finishes this area off. I think I can worry about it when I actually get to the melon patch and how I'm going to do that. Yeah, there's just some areas that I need to corner off a little bit better. Like that. And that. Didn't really look good. Oh, and up here. Hold up. Okay, yeah, that looks a lot better. That flows a lot better. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do exactly with this lump here. Whether I should connect it up to this section and kind of bring it over here. And kind of have it formulate, you know, connect up to this. And kind of cover this whole thing. Be less of... I think I want to do that, honestly. Yeah. Oof. Well, I'm almost out of dirt anyway, so I gotta pause. Okay, let me drop a lot of this stuff off. Oh, no, I had a couple bits more dirt in here. But I should probably go and collect some more anyways. Alright, let me put the wood away and then clear my inventory of everything that is not dirt. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to do and how to integrate this lump the best way. Just kind of thinking for that one. Okay. Plop, plop. Want to go downstairs yet? I gotta place that there. Alright. It is time for the Coke. Because I am thirsty. So I will be right back. I will say the hardest part about my setup is the getting in and the getting out. I got the Coke here. Ready for this? Alright, well. Let's continue. I don't think I have any dirt up here. Yeah, I got a little bit. I got a little bit of grass. Alright. Well, let's continue the grind. Don't forget, this is just this area that I'm fixing up here. I also have all of that. I gotta fix this. I have to remove this, remove that, and then, mesh out this, mesh out that. Get that kind of solved. Back here, I'm not as worried about. Probably get that fixed. Really, it's just kind of fixing a lot of this area. That'll probably just be covered on top. This one will be more filled in. Can have a lot of stuff like that. I don't actually know what to do with the villagers over here. I have no idea whether or not I'm going to put a building there or what I'm going to do. Honestly, I was thinking about putting a windmill on top of the breeder. Having a different entrance into the trading hall that's down there. Or even moving the villagers out. Because this where the actual village used to be, I'm going to put another village on top of it. And I might theme certain buildings, certain things, and actually put some of those villagers in there and convert them or have them converted. I think it would be good for a stream to actually do some villager conversions and try to get much cheaper trades and stuff. That way I can get better stuff. Okay. What's next? What's next? Where do I want to do next? Do I want to fix anything here? Right now, I think this is probably pretty good. It's just figuring out. I think I do want to connect these up, because I do think this is kind of weird. Something like that. Yeah. I like. What's going on? Okay, I don't know if I'm live on YouTube or not. So I just got like a blue screen of death, casually. So that's fun. I think I'm still live to Twitch. I'm trying to check right now. Okay, looks like the worst that I lost was that line I built, so that's good news. I'm right now trying to see if I'm live on at least YouTube. I think I'm live on Twitch, but YouTube I have no idea, because normally I go just start streaming and then have to press go live, but that's not currently an option, so I don't know if I'm still live right now. Okay, looks like I'm still live. And then Twitch, I'm assuming I'm still live. Okay. Well, that's fun. Let's go ahead and check this out. Oh. No, the line's still here. Cool. Glitch match is here. Oh, turn the gamma override back on. Okay, well look, yeah, looks like the dirt duplicated. So blue screen, guys, remember, crash the game. Okay, yep, I am live on Twitch. We chillin'. I'm on Twitch right now. Well, let's just move past this. and just keep going as if nothing happened. It didn't really matter if I did that, because... I think I'm going to start it from over here, because I feel like that's going to give me a better idea of exactly what I want. Really weird line. I think other than some of the weird kinks in this thing, I don't mind this line. I think it's workable. And as I can always tweak it as I go along, try to get it to look better. Just get rid of some of those. And then, as I said, tweak it, make it a little bit better. It's obviously a very sharp ridge there. But then again, I'm going to put farms and buildings on top of it, so I doubt you'll even notice that it's a ridge in the first place. And that, my friends, will get rid of the blob. Okay. I'm going to work my way from over there and work my way down this way. And try to use up all the dirt that I have and then go digging. This is a problem. I am going to need to fix this. Well, at least the world didn't corrupt or anything like that. So, I mean, I guess that's good news. The world still exists, and my computer is still running. No idea what caused it. I feel like that part's the more concerning bit. I think I may have just overloaded it. I don't know computers well enough. That's why I switched my major. I don't know what happened. And I am not concerned at all. Because I don't think anything truly bad happened. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be live again. But there's room for concern. Oh boy, man, that was a fright and a half, because, like, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, my computer is freezing up, and then I was like, nothing's happening, so I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, click something. You know, sometimes my computer restarts itself, that happens. No problem, I was just gonna, you know, let that happen, and just deal with it, restart the computer, go back live like I am now. And then it was the blue screen of death, and I was like, uh-oh. That could be way worse. Computer shut off, I was able to turn it back on, and here we are. And nothing else seems wrong, nothing seems glitched. And I'm still live. I'm golden. A little frazzled. Well, we're chilling. Everything's working. I can't have my computer dying on me, because that would really suck. I hope that's not the thing that causes me not to be live on Thursday. Alright. The reason I'm so concerned about specifically Thursday is because I've kind of promised y'all a Phasmo stream with my sisters. So for me to not deliver on that would make me really mad. Because every time I promise something to y'all, something comes up that prevents me from that. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that that stream happens. I cannot not have that happen. I can't cancel that time or anything. It's just, mentally, I can't. There should be no reason for that to happen. The jobs are quiet and silent. Worst that'll happen is I'll get a job. and then I can let them know, like, that Thursday night's the only night I'm not going to be available. I can rework the live streams and everything like that in the future, and I'm out of dirt. You know what I mean? I can get things working and all that, but okay, time to go to the plains biome and collect I need me some dirt. Alright, well. Let's hope that, we can just keep going. My YouTube chat's a little weird right now. That's okay, there's like a little gap there. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not like I can do anything about it. Alright, well. Oh, there we go. Okay. Importance. This is the shovel. We will dig this thing until... not until it breaks, but until it gets close. And then we'll go back, place some more dirt, get that lump in place, and see what to do from there. That might just be the end of the stream as well. All I got is more terraforming. As I said, what I might do on Thursday is fix some stuff and do that basement. There's nothing to fix. I don't know why I said fix some stuff. I just want to do that basement just to break up the terraforming with some building, because the basement's underground, so the terraforming won't affect it in any way, and I don't have to worry about the buildings and all that, because I want to build the pumpkin patch before I really get some of those other buildings in there, because that's going to shape where, like, the buildings and silos go for the pumpkin patch area. But I need the farms in place first before I can place the buildings, because the buildings shape the farms. And the farms come before the buildings, because we're building a land of farms right now. Okay, well, I tried. Whew. Well, I hope that never happens again. Would hate for that to be some kind of regular occurrence, or, yeah, you know, you never know what conglomeration of things did I click, whoops, to cause this to happen. You know what I mean? Or did it, you know, is this just something random? There was no true cause, nothing special happened, and it's not like it's gonna happen again. You never know. As I said, I've had my computer turn itself on, or turn itself off, and then, you know, restart itself kind of thing, because too much has happened, you know? So I've had that happen before, but that's not anything crazy. And, like, never the blue screen. But as I said, it's fine now, so... really hope nothing happens to it. I don't know enough about computers to even know what to Google to try to figure this out. So... we're just gonna ignore it, keep going, because it's working now, and, yeah, no, I don't think it's anything. Okay. Oh, I just picked up the stone. That's okay. I can place it right there. Okay. Well, yeah. I do kind of want to break up the mundane process of breaking dirt, placing dirt, breaking dirt, placing dirt, because it's not exactly the most interesting thing. Also, I just realized that even when 1.21 comes out, it's going to be a little while until I can actually start playing on it, because how do my rockets always manage to not be on my hotbar? I don't understand how they get there. Because I play a modded client, right, with all the utility mods of like Mini How to Tweakaroo. So I gotta wait for those to update first before I can even start playing. I could try playing the game, but I probably need performance enhancing mods just because I don't think the game would run as smoothly. But I could try to play it in the newer version. But it'd probably be smarter to at least wait for some of the mods to come out. Maybe not all, but at least more of the performance side. Like Tweakaroo, I could probably wait a little while on in Mini HUD. Like, I don't really need those. They don't really do anything in terms of performance. But, like, I'd want Sodium, and I think I have Ferrite Core and Iridium as well. I have those, so I kind of want to make sure I can get those back in, because that's my performance enhancers that I don't think I can actually run the game without. I could run the game, but not as smoothly at 120 FPS. It's very nice to be able to have that with a laptop. I mean, this is still a good computer, don't get me wrong. It's got me through thick and thieves, you know? Survived a blue screen, so I'd say that's a pretty good computer. And again, I don't really know that much about these things. I'm really bad with them. They don't come naturally to me. And I hate people saying, you're younger, so you just understand them, or expecting me to be more agile with them. Like, that's not how it works. I really don't know my way around a computer, and no, I'm not very good at just figuring it out. My problem solving is okay, but a lot of times I can miss very simple fixes. So, it's a pet peeve of mine when people look to me for computer help, and by people I mean my dad. When he looks to me for computer help and is like, just assumes I'll be good at it because I'm younger. Or, you know, like I play video games and all that. Like, those don't coincide. Sure, I'm much more adept and, like, better at learning video games and all of that. And understanding that kind of stuff. But that's a video game and not an entire machine. So, just I feel like older people do that in general to younger people. They're like, oh, you're young, you must understand this. So I'm like, I ain't got squat a clue. My guess is as good as yours, so there's no reason to rope me into these things. I can't really do anything different for you. But hey. But now I can tell people I switched my major because I was too bad. Like, if somebody looks for me for computer help and they're like, you're young, you should be good at computer help. And I'm like, look, I used to be in a computer major and realized I was really bad with computers and didn't understand them in the slightest, so I changed my major. And then hopefully that'll be like, oh, maybe your age doesn't matter. I don't know. Yeah. Managed to squeak a B out in my computer class. So that was good. That was nice. I was afraid I was going to get a C in it, and I wanted to drop the class, but I ended up getting the B. And then I made it onto the Dean's List, which sounds like it's bad, but it's actually good, because I had I had a 3.5 GPA, so it's an academic kind of award. Don't know if it really actually does anything for my grade, or for my, like, scholarships or anything, but, you know, it's there. The funny thing is I think one of the jobs I applied for asked, like, had Dean List as one of the things, and at the time, I didn't get that email yet, so I had no idea what it was, and then I got an email saying I made it on there. And I'm like, maybe it would have been good to know that beforehand, because then I would have been able to put that on there. But I guess if I get other applications that ask for that, I can say that. Like, I was on the Dean's List. It sounds good. Alright, I'm done mining with this shovel. I think both of them are kind of dead right now. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well, I got 2 full shulker boxes and then a little extra. I need to repair those 2 shovels. Get that all situated. Yeah. So that village to my right is going to be a Japanese-inspired village / harbor town. Ooh, there's a cave down there. Maybe I could do something with that. I don't know. That could be kind of cool. That could be cool. Hopefully I have enough. I want to complete this lump, as I said, and then I'm gonna end stream there. And then tomorrow I will pick up not where I left off. We're gonna start the basement of my house because it's technically my starter house. The whole thing should be done already, but alas, I do not have that done. So I think having this connected to this directly will make it look a lot better. And we'll have, as I said, pumpkin patch on top of this, so I don't think it's gonna look weird or anything like that. It might look weird with nothing on it, but once I start putting stuff on it, buildings and the pumpkin patch and all that, it'll probably, you know, you won't even really be able to notice. The one thing I do gotta figure out is how I'm gonna get inside of the iron farm. So I'm gonna keep the entrance even still there, the one I have, that entrance. I'm gonna leave that there even when I put the pumpkin patch in. And then I'm gonna figure out where a building and stuff is gonna go, and then I'll probably have the true entrance be from that building. Yeah, and just do something like that, and then actually create make it look nice in there instead of it being just stone right now, and actually have a sorting system for that. And then I could actually have a sorting system that splits the poppies and the iron separating, and also splits like the poppies where majority of them will go for bone meal, but I'll keep a couple of them until it fills up. So I'll do the ones that I keep first, and then I will void the rest of them. I think that's going to be my plan. And originally, I was planning on keeping, where is it? Somewhere over there. The iron farm that's over there, but it's really not that good compared to this one, that I think it would be better just to remove it and have something else there instead, because it doesn't really fit in, and having a building out there, it's a big area to cover with a building. Bro, you had to just walk right there, dude. You can stay on the top part, and I won't bother you. But if you come where I need to be, we got problems. We got problems. You know, be like an anime character. Don't get in my way, or else. Bro, you're walking like a tightrope here, man. if you're wondering what these are mapping out and the planning of where a pathway is eventually going to go for buildings into the pumpkin patch and all that good jazz. Because I need to have this pathway go to the pumpkin patch, then have probably buildings actually lining this side, because I need to cover the pumpkin patch on this side to have the carrots over there, and then have pumpkin melons right here, and actually just leave it there and have nothing back there, because we'll have the line of buildings here to cover the pumpkin patch. Current plan. I'm not gonna lie with you, I think I might actually run out of dirt, and if that happens, oh well. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this whole thing, because this is a really big area. But I'll be able to get pretty close. This iron farm and the wool farms are working like crazy since I'm now in the area, so that's kind of nice. And the sugarcane farms too. I might need to think about expanding the storage for the sugarcane farms, because it's only one double chest, but I have 3 now. And yeah, I might not actually have enough space for everything there, for all the sugarcane now. And I'm not going to really take it out unless I need it. I do not want to do any shulker box stocking or storing for anything just quite yet, because I don't have a lot. I only made a stack of shulker, or not a stack, but 32 shulker boxes is all I've got right now. So it's not, I'm not really rich in that department, and I don't want to go end busting again. I don't really enjoy end busting. It's kind of tedious. Some people enjoy it. I don't. I think it'd be time to make a shulker farm. And honestly, making it sooner than later would be better. I'd have to kill the Ender Dragon again to open up a new end gate, so that way I can try to find an end city that is close to an end gate, hopefully. So if I have to open all 20, I'll do that. That does mean I'm going to need gas tiers. So that is a bit unfortunate, but nothing I can't deal with. The cat spawning in here is kind of annoying. And I don't know if I can prevent it. I could trap the cats and place them in near the vicinity of the villagers, so that way when the villagers want to spawn a new one, there'll already be some there, and then not have to worry about it. I can't tame the cats, because that won't work. Okay, I'm going to switch the gears and start going this way. So I'm now making this upper bit a lot more flat, but then kind of empties off. It feels like the city should be up here where it's flatter. I don't think I want to put another lump in or anything like that. I don't think that's going to look good or work out nearly as well. So that's fine. Okay. Well, now, I mean, it is really a lot of placing. I think once I get into the basement building, it'll also give me a lot more to chat about, because when you're terraforming like this, it's just a lot of dirt placing, but not a lot I can actually talk about. Dirt, guys. It's dirt. I don't even have fun facts about dirt. That's fine. Ooh, I just realized something that's really revolutionary. Okay. I can't talk about it because it's financial stuff, but I just remembered that I have 2 accounts, meaning this account can be on the new bank, whereas my old account needs to wait a little bit until I actually make money and have direct deposit into my new account, or get my money moved over from my old bank into the new one. Get that all situated. But this whole time I haven't done anything yet, because I'm getting decently close with Twitch payout. Last I checked, I had $37 in there, and it pays out at 50. Of course, the more I stream, the more money I'm going to make, which means I could actually be decently close to at least a little bit of money, which then I could pay to my new bank account rather than the old one, because the old one doesn't really need it to be going to that one, because that account, you know, it's a different bank that's all the way in Pennsylvania now that I'm in Virginia, so that makes things lovely. I'm gonna make a line just to section this off. Oh, and I'm out of dirt. I think I actually will have enough dirt to fill this in, because that was just the first set. Still have all of this, and then all of this. So I'm kind of chilling right now. Do have to eat. Okay. Now we get to blazing. But once this is kind of like the last section for this upper area. Once we're done with this, we're done in this area. Now we have where that house is, and back yonder is really all I got. Which it's funny, because I said I was going to remove this house, but I think I first want to get somewhere for the map to go. I think temporarily I'll have it in the cartography. Actually, I might keep the first map in the cartography area, and then I could always make a copy and make a second one that will go in the actual map room as well, and I could just move it until I don't need it. But I think it would be nice to show off a map. So that's something to think about. Oof. Right, almost done. Very close. You know, I actually just thought of something. Is I could have on my phone my Twitch running. You know, because I have 2 accounts, right? I could have one of my accounts always watching my Twitch. That way, it's always getting ads, and, you know, I'm always making 11 cents from that, or somewhat. And I think Denard might do the same thing for me, where he puts up the stream and then lurks. And I do the same thing for him, where I always have his streams up when he's live. Just kind of off in the background. But hey, I mean, that helps a lot, because, you know, having that viewer there boosts that. When you don't have a job, those 11 cents make a huge difference. The only issue is the payout system that Twitch does. I have to wait every 50 bucks. I don't get anything instantly, which is a little annoying. I would prefer getting the 11 cents every once in a while, but I guess with the $50, that's probably, you know, I bet it's a mental thing, because only getting 11 cents per stream, it feels like you're not making a lot, but waiting to get the 50 feels more like an accomplishment, like you finally got the money, you know what I mean? Rather than it being like, oh, only 11 cents, and then you're like complaining to Twitch, and Twitch is like, dude, chill out. It'd be the same amount if we kept it or not, but we'll keep it because it looks better. It looks like you're actually making more money than you probably are. But, I mean, I could see how you could make a decent living off of this. if you got enough viewers, you're making quite a lot from ad revenue, and then you get sponsored. Now you're making a lot. The only issue is you got to make sure you know what you're being sponsored by and what it is. I wonder if I'll ever make it up there. Big leagues or something. Would be fun though. I do quite enjoy this, and I think having a bigger viewer base would allow me to go much longer, because then I'd get so distracted by the conversation that I just kind of keep going through and just doing stuff without even thinking about it. You know, like when Driftwood was here yesterday, I was just talking to him, and next thing you know, like it's been 3 hours already. I'm like, I gotta end. Like, I'd keep going, but I have to end because I have to wake up early tomorrow. So like that gives me a little bit of hope that this might, you know, be a true career path as being a content creator. But Minecraft content's hard content to make because so many people are doing it already. So, you know, it's very competitive, which is why it's more of a hobby than it is a job, despite being able to make money on Twitch. You know what I mean? We'll see. Depends on God, what he wants to do. If he wants to work through this, then he will. If he wants to work elsewhere, he will. You just gotta kind of wait, see what he's got planned. And then just chill. Though, I feel like playing Phasmophobia with my sisters would be a pretty big hit and bring in some people, because it's always fun watching multiple people play a game. And I feel like having my sisters there will make it very entertaining. I'm very comfortable with them as well. So there's no true awkwardness, I don't think. And no, it's not like I talk to them at all. I'm being honest here. Though when you're playing a game, the awkwardness melts away because at least you have the game to guide the conversations. You know what I mean? It's not like I have to make small talk or anything. I'm just generally bad at that. At least with this, I'm not really talking with people. I'm talking more at people and answering questions. But even then, with a conversation, like, it's a lot of just asking questions back and forth. And the nice thing is if you do ask a question to a viewer, then you can just wait for them to respond. You don't actually have to worry about filling that void necessarily, because you know you have somebody that you're talking to, rather than talking without knowing. But it's not so bad, because if you can get on a topic, it's not terrible. There are dry days, though. Not the best conversationalist, so it can be a little bit more challenging trying to come up with something to fill the void of talking. And I'm one who doesn't mind sitting in silence. Like, I totally game in silence, and every once in a while I'll think out loud. But I don't really like sitting in people's streams, especially, like, it's hard to, like, you know, you want to raid somebody, so you go over to a smaller creator, but they're just, like, sitting in silence, and it's like, you know, you gotta do something. So I've gotten pretty good at that, but it just sometimes feels like I'm talking, but not about anything, which I guess isn't too bad. You just fill the void of silence until eventually something happens that is more worth talking about or joking about, you know what I mean? The little things. Patience. Ooh, I'm out of dirt again. Alright, we are going to get pretty close to the end of dirt. Yeah, because I think this is it. But I think this will be enough to finish. There's a little bit of a gap. That's here. But that was the iron farm I was talking about. I think I'm just going to get rid of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with the villagers, though. I don't really have any plans with them yet. don't really have plans. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I should do more viewer integrated stuff despite not having a huge viewer base. Like with Twitch, I have a couple channel point redemptions, but not a whole lot. And like, there are things like, I want to do Hall of Fames, but I feel like I shouldn't yet because I don't have enough of a viewer base. But I think doing those things are what bring in people, is knowing that they can be a part of the world. It is nice to go into, you know, a smaller content creator's streams and, you know, be more noticeable there and actually be able to interact, rather than, you know, some of the bigger content creators where it's like you say something and you know your message will never be viewed because they're so big that they don't really have the time to view it. And, you know, your message just gets mixed in with the 500 other people that are talking. And so it's like a lot of times I don't even bother to say anything because I'm like, I know they won't really see it. There's a small chance they will, but like, there's like no point. The only exception is Lynxie's channel, because I was there when he was a lot smaller than he is now. Now I'm a VIP on his channel, so that means my messages will always be noticed, despite me always lurking in the shadows and never really chatting. But it's sometimes fun to be in a stream and chat instead of just watch it or have it on in the background. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like video there. It's nice to like interact sometimes because you can have a lot of fun doing that. Just depends. I feel like I have to be witty if I'm going to do that, because I need to be quick-witted and be able to do stuff. Alright, look at that. Okay, Dude Ranches. That was a good idea. Because now we don't have a mound anymore, and now you can't even tell that there was a hole here or a ravine here. Like, let me just fly down real quick and show you what you're missing. Right, we have this ravine here that is covered up. Now, you totally forgot about that. You know, there's that hole that's gone. The iron farm that's doing its thing. You know, there's a hole right here that's gone. There's a hole there and a spider spawner that I don't need anymore because I have a mob farm. I'm going to fix some of this. Yeah, it is kind of jagged. It isn't so bad, though. It'll be fine. Doesn't need to be perfect. As I said, there's going to be buildings and stuff on top of it. And there's going to be a giant pumpkin patch in this whole area. I think I'll probably lead it down into there. Pretty much that whole circle is going to be the melon patch. And then buildings that'll kind of line up from this guy, maybe kind of curve a little bit around here. They'll still be, you know, simple shapes. I won't do anything complicated. You know, one-story buildings with maybe a couple small two-story buildings. I feel like with the style I'm doing, two-story buildings don't really make a lot of sense. I don't know, I feel like they don't make sense. Let me take these out. Okay. So, we're going to be building next stream. We're going to be working in the basement, getting that all situated and set up. That way we actually have... And the basement's actually going to be mostly decorational. I don't really have many plans to do anything other than some form of decoration there. Yeah. So if I go down here, right, there's the basement option, but there is no basement. And so essentially I want to have just a couple of hallways, and there's a room for each villager workstation that's, you know, basically meant to test how good I'd be at building more interior design. But first, I gotta repair my shovels and all of that and get that done and dusted. Hold on, before I do that, let me open my phone and then do a whole bunch of this. Get ourselves up here. All right. Yay, we have a small verse, so it doesn't carry over to 2 pages unnecessarily. We are in Jeremiah. Oh, capitalization, please. Jeremiah 31:25 ESV. For I will satisfy the weary soul, and every languishing soul I will replenish. Once again, talking about the character of God. Right, so last time it was about Isaiah, or not about Isaiah, but it was Isaiah talking about God and the character of God, how God won't abandon you no matter what, he'll always be there with you. And here you have, the same kind of concept that God will always be there to provide for you, to care for you, and to make sure that you never fall into a ditch and that you can't get out of it, because he will satisfy the weary soul and he will replenish the languishing soul. Alright, well that's going to do it for today. So for those of you who are on the YouTube side, just go ahead and sit tight. For those of you on the Twitch side, let's go ahead and raid on over. See who is currently live right now. Alright, let's see. Ooh, who's this? Alright, maybe not. Trying to find... Let me see. Let me browse. I kind of want to find a smaller creator. Right now, all I got is Shadowstone. Let's see if there's any... Yeah, these guys live. Okay, we do got some. Hmm. This one looks kind of nice. I like it. I'm being pulled towards it. Let's do it. Okay. Let's raid. Let's hope they have raid settings turned on. Yay! I always love it when they have raid settings turned on. You never know. You never know. Alright, it's Scoochin on in with... Oh, geez, I'm fat fingering. With the good news. SDK live high. SDK live raid. If I don't fat finger raid. SDK live... Oh, fat fingering again. Live heart. And just for me, because nobody subscribed right now, SDK bang. Come on, guys. Wolf with a gun. It's cool stuff. All right, let's raid on over.
I can only play it with shaders, as you can see. It looks kind of different because if not, I'll get really bad migraines.
All right, that's